Okay, in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make an obby. Now I've had to do this video so many times, I'm not even allowed because it just kept freezing. But in this one I'm going to be starting with the models mostly. The scripts will be next part, and then this is just the first one. So this is probably going to be a decently long series, but it'll be worth it in the end. Now, right now what I'm doing is just making a base plate. So if you don't know, to make a base plate you need to scale a part. And scale should be on the top of your screen. Not scale, model should be on the top of your screen. And if you don't see model on the top of your screen, try to reload your Roblox again, but it should be on the top of your screen. Click on it, and then you can use scale to make parts bigger and smaller. And just make it as small as this. And as soon as you make it as small as this, you want to center the base plate, as I'm doing right now. And then make the transparency 1. How you do that is just you have to click on the spawn point. You have to click on the spawn point and make the transparency 1. This will make the spawn point not as easy to see, and it'll make it more invisible. Now obviously you could just use a spawn point that doesn't have that little check mark on it, but oh well, it doesn't matter. Now how you get the properties tab is all you have to do. You can pull it up from the view tab, click on view, and you will see it on the left of your screen. You'll see view. Click on view, and then you'll see properties. Click on properties, and then click on the part you want to see the properties of. In this case, it would be the base plate and the spawn point. Just for the spawn place, you would want to make it the transparency 0. I mean, not 0.1, this is 1. You would want to make the transparency 1 so it is invisible, or the part itself is invisible. And then for the base plate, you would want to change the color by going into the properties and making the brick color lime or any type of green, and then make it neon so the base plate isn't as, well, the spawn point isn't as visible. Now what I'm doing here is I'm going to make the first row for the first obby, row will be 4. That's why I made it so small. If it was only going to be 1, I probably would have just made it 1 line, and I wouldn't have made it able to have 4 sides. But this is going to be the first of 4, and first I'm just making the models. I'm going to spend a lot of time making the sign. Now, while I'm telling you this, I'm going to tell you another thing, how I pulled this up. Now, basically, when you pull up Roblox Studio, when you download Roblox Studio, click on it, you'll see new, you'll see plus new, and then you click on plus new, and you'll see templates, and the template I'm using is base plate. And when you click on base plate, it'll show up, and then you do all the things I just suggested right now. So, right now I'm making the sign, like I said. This will be called the RGB road, because red, green, and blue. This will be red, green, and blue. The next one will be different colors. So hopefully I don't run out of colors. I probably will, because there's a lot of colors. So, another thing is that this is just a models part. If you don't need help in making models, or you know how to make the sign, then you can skip this part and move on to the next part. Well, actually, it's best if you stay on this part so you know what the setup is going to be here. And what the next part is going to be. The next part is mainly going to be scripting. It's going to be, obviously, still going to make some models because I have to keep making the road. But another thing I forgot to do in this is that I forgot to make it so that there is a background. But I'll just make it so that it's inside. And it's fine if it's sunny anyway. But I'm going to go over another thing that'll help you in this tutorial. I'm just going to go over the properties that we're mostly going to be using. When you click on a part, you will see the properties tab if you have it pulled up. If you don't know how to go to the properties tab, you have to click on view. It will be on the left of your screen. After you click on this and you see the properties tab, there are going to be the main things you're going to be changing in there without scripts. We're going to be changing the color and the material. The only thing, I'm going to change the size with scripts. So yeah, you don't need to worry about the size of stuff, and everything else we can change with scripts. Well, you can change everything with scripts, but I prefer to change the color manually because it looks nice when you can see it without having to actually change it through scripts. Now, I'm not the best at making signs, as you'll see. This sign will end up being terrible. I'm probably going to put it at times 2 speed. I might will put it at times 2 speed because I do not like the way this looks. So I'll be with you in a second. Give me a second. So I put on 2 times speed now, so it's a little bit faster. So, oh wait, did it pause? Oh no, it didn't pause. Okay, so what I'm doing here is making a sign. I'm not the best at making signs, though. This is my first time actually trying to make a sign. I know how to change it into the numbers and stuff, but I didn't really try to form it into it. I just thought that'd be a cool thing to add so they know what path they're going to. But you know, you can just probably use Blender, but I don't like. It's not that I don't like using Blender, it's just that I don't know how to use Blender, so I use the regular parts. And then I probably could have put more time into it, but I needed to hurry up and get it finished. So that's one reason why it looks rushed. And at the end of the tutorial, you can go back, or I will just go back and try to show you how I changed it if I ever do change it. I might make the G lowercase and make it look better, but it's okay either way. It's okay either way. It doesn't really matter how it looks. It's just a sign. You don't need the sign. So, yeah. Another thing I want to go over for this is that I'm going to be using regular script, so don't try to insert a local script unless I say you're inserting a local script. I'm going to also go over some of the stuff we'll be going over in this tutorial, since I know y'all probably are going to be like, okay, what is this hobby going to be about, and what are we going to do in this hobby? Well, basically, I just realized I could have added a top G to it. Oh, I feel so stupid for not adding a top G. Alright, give me a second. I need to add a top G to the G because it doesn't look that good without it. I'm changing it right now because I really don't like the way it looks. It looks horrible. So raise it up a little bit. You make sure you raise the G up a little bit and add a top onto the G so it looks better. Hopefully they're not done with it already. Oh, okay, so as you know, this is pre-recorded because my screen recorder was not working at all, so I had to record it in a different way. I will probably just stop talking until we get to the actual things I need to talk about, so I'll be right back. So 2, 4, 5. Oh, is that at 2 times speed? Give me a second. I need to see if it's at 2 times speed. Okay, now it's not at 2 times speed. But what I'm doing here is basically making the pathway. The pathway is going to be a red, green, and blue pathway, since this is called the RGB path, as you see from the sign, the horribly made sign that I, at the end of the video, will show you. I updated a tiny bit. I updated it a tiny bit. But it still looks better than in the video. So right now I'm making the red, green, and blue, and to make sure that nobody can pass through it or tries to switch paths. Well, they can switch paths by going back, but I'll show you how I'll fix that later. But for now, I'm going to add a wall, first of all, so people don't fall off. So people don't try to jump onto the other bridge. So, and also so it doesn't overload and people don't start falling off. It's just really a template, just in case the server is overloaded. You see, I'm adding a wall, making sure it's big and shaping it so that nobody falls off at least one way, because the other way is going to be the way where the obby starts. So hopefully nobody falls off that way, but if they do, it's okay, because you'll just spawn back at the base plate. Now, as I was saying, this is the first out of 4 obbies. So basically, this is going to be called the RGB path. It's all going to be based on colors. The next one's probably going to be the secondary colors, some of the secondary colors, and it's just going to keep going on for some of the colors. I thought it would be nice to just name it after the colors, because, you know, why not make it a little bit more fun. Now, here is where we're going to start with the first obby challenge, where you are in a box, and the box deals damage to you. So this is where I finally start scripting. What you have been waiting for? Well, I actually don't start scripting. I actually start scripting next tutorial, which if you want to skip the next tutorial, that's completely fine. I understand, because this is just the models. It's not that important. You can customize it whenever you want. And also, as you see, I changed I made the sign red, green, and blue instead of just regular gray parts. So do that as well, and make sure it's neon so it looks better. Okay.